Well, one gold medal matchup is set in the women's division. Now we will wait to see the other gold medal in the men's, as it'll be either Team Mexico or Team Indigenous joining the likes of Team Canada. And there's a first shot early as Hunter threw that towards the cage, but the starting netminder and Matthew Murakami for Team Mexico already with a stop just a few seconds in. So he deflects that one out of play. Keegan Melanchuk, the other goaltender for Team Indigenous. Now Godfriedson with a sidearm shot looking stick side, and that goes out the other way. So we will still await our first goal of the game in this play-in matchup between Mexico and the Indigenous. There's a shot, and both goaltenders with a save now as Melanchuk denies Charlie Frattini. 20 goals through 4 games thus far for Frattini. And there is our first goal, as Hunter rips that one from his strong side. 9th of the tournament for Trayvon Hunter. Was denied on his first shot, and that one goes off of the goaltender, off the post, and then second chance goes off the side of the cage as Frattini tries to tie things up at 1, but Melanchuk denies that opportunity, and now Sakani Baker gets over top, tucks through, drives underneath, bounce shot, stopped, second chance on a rebound, they score 2-0 for Team Indigenous. I believe that was Sampson who tucked that home on the rebound. Drive through, Sanchez scores. First goal of the game for Team Mexico, cutting the lead down to 1, and a penalty on the play as well. So Josh Sanchez gets his first. Give him now 22 in the tournament. Mexico with an even 2-2 record, with both of their wins coming against this very Team Indigenous. Of course, that means there are 2 losses coming against the same team that they're trying to meet in the gold medal game later this afternoon, as Sanchez ties the game at 2. Thank you for joining us here on BC Sports TV. Tino Farah, the voice for this matchup, as we continue to bring you all of these games throughout the World Lacrosse Super Sixes for free. Now Mexico back into the offensive zone as they still have a little bit of time remaining on their power play. It's Godfriedson in the box for the Indigenous. Sanchez chasing it down and just saves it before it goes out. Under 10 seconds to shoot. As he works from behind, already looking for his third. Tucks one home. Hat trick in the first quarter for Josh Sanchez. Now back to even strength as Godfriedson came right out and got a shot that ended up out of play. Murakami quick up. Sanchez out once again. Has all 3 of the Mexican goals to start off this game. Now pass to the outside, and return feed looking for Martinez. Can't find him. He'll head back for a defensive shift. Alan Ortiz couldn't quite dial that one in. Now he watches on Baker. Over top, shot wide. As this Team Indigenous trying to do the same thing that the Haudenosaunee women did just before this game, locking in their matchup at the gold medal with their first win of the tournament. Taking down the likes of Great Britain. Now that shot sent out the other side. Melanchuk steps out of his crease to be an option. Pass sent to him, and quick up the other way. Joshua Russell Bryce dishes over to the far side. Andrew Sam steps into one. A bounce shot stopped by Murakami. Drops down to one knee. Launches one all the way up. Frattini trying to run onto it. Reaching and muscled to the outside by Nathan Grady Sam. Project driving, shooting, and a nice save again. Murakami active with his stick. Now Gerardo Vasquez Leon will do the legwork, getting this over center. The rest of the change being facilitated now, and thought about the change himself, but now he'll get back into the action as Sanchez looking for his fourth. Comes over top, takes a slash, penalty on the play. His shot goes off a defender, out of play, and that'll give us a quick stoppage here with the penalized player for the Indigenous making his way towards the penalty area now. Dakota Grismer vote. Now first power play here for Team Mexico. Frattini tucks underneath a Baker. Shot. Blocked before it got through, and he'll go the other way. Off to the races. Baker backpedals through. Shovels one into the top corner. How about it? It's Connie Baker. What a way to get your first of the game. Perfectly placed shoveler. Goes top left, and now a turnover at the other end. Quick pass up. Fake backhand underneath. Now Hunter lobs one to the outside. Return down to the corner. Spinning through. Shot and a save by Murakami. He's probably already got 5 saves to his name already. Came into this one with 57 through 4 games. Good enough for a save percentage of 40. Has an assist as well. And now Mexico takes a penalty on the play. I believe that's Angel Asensio. Now Gottfriedson to Hunter. Spins back, somehow able to maintain possession. Power play now for the Indigenous as Gottfriedson rips one home. Vasquez Leon near the center line, spinning away from the pressure. Ortiz finds Frattini, back to Sanchez near the point. Pressure comes in. Gottfriedson and Baker start to close in on Sanchez, who splits the defenders on a swim. Looks for the shovel shot towards the goaltender and doesn't get through. Gottfriedson is going to sprint forward. Defender on his front and back, and tries to spin one over the goal line. Wants a penalty on the play. Has some words for the official, who does not oblige. Now Sanchez, the only member of this team, Mexico, with goals so far in this game. Frattini tries to change that with the final count on, and that will conclude the opening quarter. It is 4 for Team Indigenous and 3 for Team Mexico through 8 minutes of action. And when we come back, we will see how quarter number 2 shakes out. Thanks for joining us on BC Sports TV. You're watching the World Lacrosse Super Sixes. Back underway from Percy Perry Stadium. As we get back to the action, an early shot and an early goal for Team Indigenous. Gracic puts one home early. Mexico now finds themselves in an unfamiliar position against the Indigenous here. 2-goal deficit as the pass looking for Fertini, picked off Gottfriedson. Breakaway, gets a slash, draws a penalty, and denied by Murakami. Gottfriedson gets his own rebound, pass goes across, and Murakami reaching out. That got directed towards him. What a start for the Indigenous. Already leading at the start of this quarter, and now lead by 2, and we'll go to the power play. So there might actually be 2 penalties here against Mexico. So will be 2 penalties, a 5-on-3 in favor of the Indigenous as Hunter and Baker play pass. Pass goes down afterwards to the corner, and shot goes off the goaltender and out of play. Joshua Russell Bryce denied what would have been his second of the tournament. Remains out there on far side crease. Hunter, backhand feed, shot scores. Sampson. As he heads off now, Mexico trailing by 3. Pass up out of the reach of Sanchez. Now another one gets past Murakami. That'll go to Andrew Sam. Bit of a wraparound as he just kind of spun from the corner. Now Hopkins runs into a double team as we'll now go back to even strength. Sanchez from his wrong side switches hands, shoots, and Melanchuk denies that chance. That'll go almost out of play, but no, it will go out of play, excuse me. So it'll be Mexico ball blown back in. Pass comes to the near side. Sanchez again, shot. Might have caught a piece of the post. Big rebound goes out the other side. Again, they'll get a reset. Here's Fertini. Hopkins in for some help. Behind him, Fertini works down low to the corner. Ortiz is behind the net as well as an option. Fertini's going to keep. Space starting to clear out. Fertini wants the drive, muscles his way through, spins back, runs into a triple team. To the perimeter they will go. Shot from distance, denied by Melanchuk. A much different look for the Indigenous in this game, as the theme for them thus far has been a slower start and having to try to climb back. And now they find themselves in the driver's seat, leading by 4. And just 3 goals so far for Team Mexico, all from the stick of Josh Sanchez. As coming into this game, there were 41 goals split between the pair of Fertini and Sanchez for Team Mexico. The next highest goal scorer is Bailey Vanachuk for their team, but had 9. Now that shot goes off post and out of play. Indigenous will keep possession. But if you're able to shut down that dynamic duo of Fertini and Sanchez, you got a pretty good chance against this Team Mexico. And so far, the Indigenous have done a great job of that. That pass out of the reach, and look out as that goes over the fence and into the stands. Young fan gets a souvenir running around the track, as goes and finds another one. Now Gottfriedson, the good defensive stick check, going to take a penalty there afterwards. The first one was good, the second one not quite as much, and now they find a goal. There's Frattini on the run. And Gottfriedson making his way towards the penalty area now. So Frattini scores a goal to cut into the lead ever so slightly. Just a 3-goal deficit now, and chance to cut it down to 2 as they'll go to work on the power play. Ortiz at the point to the near side. Sanchez fake shot. Switches places with Frattini. Now down to the corner. Skip feet across. Shot, and a great save by Melanchuk. Dropped down low and got his elbow up. Swinging that one away from the cage and out of play. Fresh 30, though, for Mexico. Still on the power play. Ortiz now. Frattini. Sanchez steps into one. Scores. Give him 4 in this game. Now Hunter, one defender to beat. Goes back to the middle. Slide comes in. He tucks one more time, spins back, shoots, scores. Makes it look so effortless. Trayvon Hunter gets his 10th of this Super Sixes event and restores the 3-goal lead. Frattini with it again. Sanchez looking for 5 on his wrong side. Ends up behind the cage. Under 10 seconds remain on the shot clock. One more pass to the near side. Frattini switches hands, shoots high into the air off a defender, and look out as Melanchuk reaches up just in case that came down, but ends up out the other side, and Indigenous will take possession back. Andrew Sam knifes his way through over to Baker, looking high, and Murakami looks high as well. Gets the better of that shot. Vasquez Leon dishes to Ortiz. Sanchez, the intended recipient of that pass. Andrew Sam knocks it down. Mexico keeps after it, ends up down to the turf once more. Sam still digging for it. And he'll find it himself. Busy start to the day for Andrew Sam, who's got a goal and a couple of strong defensive plays, including that latest one. Murakami, speaking of busy players in this game, he has another save to his name. Frattini, right back out. Sanchez, one-on-one matchup with Sam. Sanchez scores, and player was down in the crease. And they're going to wave it off because of it. Sanchez got that through and over the goal line, but a fallen player still in the crease while that crossed the goal line. And we'll keep this a 3-goal lead in favor of the Indigenous in the late stages of the first half. Blind pass through, backhand shot out the other side, and it should be possession Mexico. It will be, as Murakami boxed out his man. Joshua Russell Bryce will apply some pressure on the Mexican netminder, knocks the ball forward into an empty net. They score. I believe that was Sampson again, and if so, that'll be his 3rd goal. Pass forward, here's Hunter around the world. My, oh my. Give him 3. And the lead is now 4. And that'll be the end of the opening half. And it ends with a beautiful strike from Trayvon Hunter to extend that lead to 4. And we'll take a break now. When we come back, it'll be second half action live from Coquitlam. It's the World Lacrosse Super Sixes. Back underway for second half action from the World Lacrosse Super Sixes, live on BC Sports TV and live from the Percy Perry Stadium in Coquitlam, British Columbia. The Indigenous leading 10-6, and the winner of this one will go to the gold medal matchup versus Canada later on this afternoon. Josh Sanchez picked up right where he left off with his 5th goal of the game to cut the lead down to 3. Only goal scorers here for Team Mexico, you guessed it, Frattini and Sanchez. 7 goals split between the two of them. Gottfriedson spins, hands free, dishes to the near side, shot off the shoulder. No, they'll say cleanly out of play. So no save there for Murakami. He'll headman that up to Sanchez. Slowly into the offensive zone, on to his wrong side. Dish through, bouncer goes out the other side. Orozco just outside the post, and now chance to reclaim that 4-goal lead that they had at the end of the opening half. Sam steps into one and scores. Give him 2 in the game. Near side feed. Back up by 4 go the Indigenous. And Diego Hopkins dishes one over to the far side. Frattini will switch hands. Shoulder his way, spin back, scores. Hat trick. As the theme continues. Find a way to shut down 88-0, and you may find some success, but now 8 goals in this game for Mexico, split between those two. There's a shot and a goal waved off, though, as Jermaine Hunter was denied what would have been his 3rd. Had to make a correction on some of my goal totals in the half. Marcelo Reagan-Bowes has 3. Hunter has 2. Sam now has 2. Frattini, speaking of multiple goals, and right on cue, Sanchez completes the sock trick. Now up to 6 in this game. As Hunter, where is it? It's in. Fake the backhand, threw it low. And now he's up to 3. Here is Sanchez once again. Fresh off of his 6th. Drives with one hand on his stick. Looking over to the near side, switches back over to his right. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Pass goes through. Frattini finds it. Finds a goal as well. Now up to 4. Still the only 2 goal scorers in this game for Mexico. Sam to the near side. Sakani Baker, swim, drive, scores. What a goal by Sakani Baker, looking and finding his 2nd. That's a pretty one. Now Hopkins puts it off the side of the net. First offensive possession for either of these teams in quite some time that hasn't resulted in a goal, and more of the same at the other end. As Murakami makes another save. Mexico takes possession back. Hopkins couldn't reach it. Quick pass up from Hunter, looking to go across one more time, and that's going to be a penalty here coming up against Mexico. Serrano denied, one-timer across, and off the side of the net. Bo almost found what would have been his 4th on a feed from Joshua Russell Bryce, but they draw a penalty at the very least for their efforts, and chance now to extend the lead. 13-10 they find themselves in front. Gottfriedson to Hunter. Baker tucks under, spins back. Low shot and a beautiful save by Murakami. Kicks that one all the way out to the other side. Gottfriedson will get things back underway. Behind the net. Skip feed to the far side. Hunter scores. Rising subber to the top corner. Now up to 4 in this game for Trevain Hunter. Orozco. Pass down low. Sanchez gets through to the middle. Backhand scores. Well, he's got 7. Baker. Just as low around the world. Hunter. Feels like he's just showing off at this point with some of those hands. Creativity on full display here in this one. Martinez makes a nice move to get around the forechecker. Dish down low, Frattini scores. 5 for Frattini. Heavy shot, wide. Murakami will collect. A little less pressure here on the forecheck from the Indigenous. Lobbed over the center line, run on to Ortiz. Skip feed goes over to Sanchez, far side. He and Frattini right back out there. Sanchez looking to set a screen here for Frattini, who's coming over top. Shot was deflected, and Melanchuk will take it away. I believe we have a penalty on the play here as the officials come together to discuss. Legal procedure will be the call. I kind of think the teams thought it was quarter break because even the goaltenders went back to their benches, but still have a little over a minute remaining by our clock, and both teams making their way back out onto the turf now. Both goaltenders in between their posts. And it will be Mexico possession as Hopkins gets back out to the other side, tried to skip one to Sanchez, picked off or at least knocked down by Hunter, gets a slash off. Sanchez goes down and draws an interference call. Mexico gets a reset. Alan Ortiz starts things off. Back to Frattini. Shot off the post. Ball knocks down on the pressure. Mexico able to keep after it. They'll get a reset. Pass through, off the mark. Sanchez finds it, tucks through, shoots while falling. And he'll draw a penalty. Penalized Indigenous player. Not happy with the call. Still pleading his case from the penalty area, but will be a penalty nonetheless. And Mexico continues to try to climb back here in the final 30 seconds of the third quarter. Shot from Frattini. A rare one from him that's off the mark, and that goes into the corner. Melanchuk will step out. Quick pass up. Here's Baker. Fancy footwork as he drives through. Looks to go 5-hole. Murakami takes that away, and a quick pass up on the run. Perfectly plays. Shot. Scores. Finally a goal scorer not named Frattini or Sanchez. And it'll be Serrano. Just as the quarter comes to a close, and the lead is down to 1. 14-13. The Indigenous lead over Mexico. And when we return, it will be the fourth and potentially final frame. We'll see how the rest of this one winds up. But we'll step aside for now. Thanks for joining us on BC Sports TV. You've been watching the World Lacrosse Super Sixes. Back underway for quarter number 4 from the World Lacrosse Super Sixes. Mexico trailing 13-14 to Team Indigenous, but currently on a run of 3, and they finally have a goal scorer other than Frattini or Sanchez. It'll be Serrano with that buzzer beater at the tail end of the third quarter, and now here is the aforementioned Sanchez. He backpedals away, looking for the game's tying goal. He jumps, and Melanchuk takes away the top corner. Sanchez leapt from behind the net. Now Gottfriedson steps into one off the post. He's looked dangerous, but just one goal to his name in this game thus far. Denied what would have been his second. Hunter goes behind the net. Pass across to Baker. Fake shot, now takes one, rising high into the stick. Murakami lobbed forward for Cheney. On the run, shoots and puts it just wide with his left. Would have been the 5th of the game for Charlie Frattini. But just couldn't quite get it on target. He'll head off for a change now as Mexico looking to go the other way on an unforced error, and that'll be a push, giving possession back to Mexico. Here's Diego Hopkins. Switches back to his right. Finds Sanchez waiting near the perimeter. Keeps it in his strong hand from distance, scores, tie game. Now 8 goals in this game for Sanchez. Kevin Hinnock goes to one hand, shouldering his way through, spins back and scores. Out muscling his defender. Indigenous back up by 1. Frattini goes down, and an unforced turnover again against Team Mexico. Trying to tie the game once more, and instead they'll look to their defense for a stop. Andrew Sam sends possession down low. Penalty coming up as Mexico with one too many players out, 6 defenders currently out. And that'll have to be served by the in-home. Now a power play for the Indigenous. And the power play gets underway. Hunter along the near side, over to Gottfriedson. Steps into one, scores, top corner. Now a long pass goes up to Sanchez. Gottfriedson, the lone defender. Sanchez circles from behind, swims away, switches hands, looking for the shovel shot and finds it. 9 goals now for Josh Sanchez with his team trailing by 1. Gottfriedson switched hands himself and put it off the stick of Murakami. Legal procedure against Mexico. That'll give possession right back to the Indigenous as Sam goes down to the corner and a save by Murakami. Bailing his team out on that one. Long pass forward. Ortiz waits for the rest of the change to be facilitated. In comes Sanchez and Frattini, both parked along the near side. Watched on by the defenders with the ball on the far side. Vasquez Leon fakes the spin back, runs into a double team, lost possession. Sanchez collects. That'll expire the shot clock before he could even pick it up. Indigenous with possession on their own side of center. About 3.5 minutes remaining in the fourth. Sakani Baker tries the toe drag, lost it on the move. Murakami steps out. That'll be warding against Baker as he'll head off. Sanchez takes it back. Still trailing by 1. Over 30 goals in this game now split between the two teams. Frattini gets over top, shoots, off a body. Sanchez finds it, fake shot. Backpedals away, pass over to the other side. Shot, scores! Orozco just floats that one into the top corner, and Hunter, one hand around the world. That's the second time in this game that he's tried that move. The one just wide, lob forward. Hopkins behind enemy lines on his own. 3 defenders in front of him, so he'll pull things out. Pass through Sanchez in all alone. Had time to catch it and put it underneath. Now Mexico in front, a defensive breakdown. That's probably the last player that you'd like to be in all alone, and just an unbelievable performance in this game by Sanchez. Again, just 2 players for Team Mexico with goals other than Charlie Frattini and Josh Sanchez. Trail check from behind. Hopkins tries to stop it from going over, and Nathan Grady-Sam was in all alone but just couldn't pick it up, and Mexico just sends that down the length of the turf as the shot clock expired. So 1:36 remaining. Mexico has climbed back and find themselves back in front. The Indigenous get over the line. Here's Hunter. Gets around his defender, scores, tied again. Hunter gets his 5th goal. Back to square one. Here is Sanchez. Comes over top. Swim move, defender falls, Sanchez scores. Run out of room on my stat sheet for number 88. 11 goals now, and Gottfriedson denied and rebound collected. Murakami continues his stellar performance. Now a great play at the other end by the goaltender Melanchuk, who quickly gets it up into the final minute with the Indigenous trailing by 1. Shovel shot goes wide. And that'll go last touching a stick for Team Mexico. So will remain possession for Team Indigenous. Limited time here as about 7 seconds had come off the shot clock. Now down to 15 remaining. Baker gets through. And the Indigenous are going to call a timeout with 15 seconds remaining on the shot clock. And by our count, about 25 seconds remaining in the quarter. Indigenous need a goal trailing by 1, and we'll take a quick breather. Final minute of action in regulation just around the corner. Just about ready to get back underway. It is Indigenous possession. Gervais Hunter going to start things off with 15 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Less than a minute remaining in the game, in regulation at least. And Indigenous trailing. Godfrey's in with a jump shot, stopped by Murakami. His most important save thus far, trying to ice the victory here. His team in front. Mexico gets over the center line. They're going to call timeout. And we'll take another breather. Less than 30 seconds by our count remaining in regulation. Indigenous need a goal, but they'll need a turnover here first as they end up in the defensive zone following another save by Matthew Murakami. We'll return after this. All right, ready to return to the action here. A trip to the gold medal matchup, or gold medal game, excuse me, against Team Canada on the line. Mexico leading by 1. As Melanchuk coming out of his crease to play the role of an extra defender. Now he'll go back towards his crease as Sanchez has Hunter and Gottfriedson on his back, sprinting away. Fakes the roll back, comes way out to the perimeter near the center line. Got to be careful here. Double team comes in again, sends that high into the air. That'll go out of play, and that'll close out the game as well. Mexico will secure the victory. 18-17 is your final, and they will play Canada later on this afternoon. The gold medal on the line, and we have another gold medal matchup just after this one. In the women's division, it'll be Canada versus the Haudenosaunee, and we hope you join us for that one as well. We'll bring you all the action for free here on BC Sports TV. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you for our gold medal afternoon. It's Canada versus the Haudenosaunee next.